10. Last 5 chapters. So meron na rin pala pong memo na tomorrow. So there will be no classes. Not totally no classes, but you are required to attend online webinars. No. And on our time, I will be requiring everyone to have their attendance. So the BOD or our coordinators will facilitate on how you will be able to send the attendance on that said online webinar. So maybe on our time, I will be asking you to send a screenshot or picture of you attending on the Google on the online activities, and you will be sending it to our chat group, or maybe I will be posting an assignment on the Google Classroom so that you could upload your images there. So either or, depende ko ano yung sa tingin ko magiging mas madali. No? Okay, so let's have a very mabilis lang naman tong chapter number 6, so that next meeting we're going to have chapter number 7 and 8, and hopefully we could proceed with chapter 9 sa ating face to face. Mabilis lang naman po ang mga ito.
Ang hindi masinasaan ng picture, di kasama sa naral. Okay na ba?
Alright, so turbines are essential mechanical devices that convert energy from fluids such as water, steam, gas, or air into rotational mechanical energy, which can then be used to generate electricity or perform other forms of work. So the role of turbines in modern energy system is vast, spanning from power generation electric plants to the propulsion system in aircraft and ships. Understanding the different types of turbines, their operational principles, and their application is critical for engineers and professionals involved in energy production, mechanical design, and industrial processes. And if you can see these four applications, these are all under mechanical engineering. So we mechanical engineers are the one facilitating for this energy production, mechanical design, and industrial process. No, and of course, aside from this part, we already have a brief discussion about turbines way back on our chapter 1 and chapter 2, or in our introduction to fluid machinery. And now let's have some parts or some components of a turbine. So the major component of a turbine is what we call as our blades. So turbine blades are critical for converting fluid energy into mechanical work. So they're designed and type depend on the specific application and operating condition of the turbine. So the construction of a turbine involves a complex interplay of various components, each designed to perform specific functions under challenging conditions. So a deep understanding of these components, so we have the blades, the diffuser, the casing, the bearing, and the shaft is essential for optimizing turbine performance and of course ensuring reliability in operation. So for our blades, if you could see, so our blades are the one that is uh, main component converting the kinetic and pressure energy into mechanical energy that will be transmitted to the shaft, going to our generator to create electrical energy. So we have here different types of blades. So we have the impulse blades. When we say impulse blades, so these blades are used in impulse turbines where the kinetic energy of the fluid is converted into mechanical energy. So the fluid impacts the blade at high velocity, causing them to rotate without significant pressure drop across the blade. So ang iisipin lang po, what you need to remember when we are talking about impulse blade, katulad nung ating pong discussion nung tayo ay nag-intro, pag sinabi natin impulse blade or impulse turbine, ang atin lang pong pinag-uusapan is the velocity. Because in impulse blade, the only property that is making our blade to rotate or our turbine to rotate is the velocity. Through the impulsive force from the velocity of our fluid. That's why impulse blade. So the shape and the angle of these blades are crucial. Parang may pansit pa dun, sir. Kain na po. Na-late na kayo.
Mahal kasi namin ng beer.
so, so the shape and the angle of these blades are crucial for maximizing efficiency. Next po is our reaction blade. Kanina si impulse is only velocity. When it comes to reaction blade, we now consider the velocity and the pressure. There is now what we call as the lift force and the drag force. So in contrast, reaction blades are used in reaction turbine. Ano po ba yung mga reaction turbine natin? That is Kaplan and Francis turbine. So saan po ba ginagamit pa ang reaction blade? Reaction blade are also used in our centrifugal pumps. No, reaction blade din po yung gamit doon, where both the pressure and velocity of the fluid contribute to the rotation. These blades are designed with a varying cross-section, allowing for gradual expansion and pressure reduction of the fluid. So this design typically results in higher efficiency but require more complex engineering. Kanina, si impulse, velocity lang, si reaction, that's pressure and velocity. At para hindi rin po kayo malito when we say impulse, no, pwede nating tandaan yung dinrawing ni sir nung tayo po ay face-to-face meeting, yung kutsara, 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 kutsara. Naalala po yung mga kutsarang yon? Pa-heart naman kung naalala yung kutsara, 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 kutsara. Yun. That is an example of our impulse turbine, which is the Pelton turbine. No, yun yung sa impulse. Sa reaction naman, yun yung Francis. Ang maalalahanin, ipinasok sa X, inilabas kay Y. Pinasok kay X, nilabsan kay Y. So that is reaction turbine or the reaction blades. Then we have our third one, which is our cooling blades. When we say cooling blades in high temperature feature, application, such as in gas turbines, cooling blades are often employed. These blades feature internal cooling channels, allowing them to withstand extreme temperature and maintain structural integrity. The design of these blades must balance the thermal performance with mechanical strength. Pag sinabi po natin cooling blades, so kanina yung isa ay velocity lang, yung impulse, si reaction is velocity and pressure. And when we talk about cooling blades, we now consider our temperature. So it is velocity, pressure, and the temperature. So because these cooling blades are used with the high temperature fluids where we use it in our cooling system. And to better understand and appreciate the difference between the reaction and impulse blade or simply turbine, I have here a quick video that we could watch together. Yan. Uy, iba yun, sir. Just a moment, it's loading currently.
Wala!
Welcome to Academic Gain Tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about the major differences between impulse and reaction turbine. Both types of turbine are used in power plants for the generation of electricity. Instead of their same work of producing electricity, they are differing from each other in many aspects. So, here we will discuss various differences among them in detail. Difference number 1. In an impulse turbine, the steam flows through the nozzle and strikes on the moving blades, whereas, in a reaction turbine, the steam first flows through the guide mechanism and then flows through the moving blades. Number 2. In impulse turbine, steam strikes on the moving blades with kinetic energy only, but in the reaction turbine, the steam which glides over the moving blades possesses both pressure energy and kinetic energy. Number 3. In impulse turbine, the pressure of steam remains constant during its flow through the moving blades, but in reaction turbine, the pressure of steam reduces during its flow through the moving blades. Number 4. In impulse turbine, the steam may or may not be admitted to the whole circumference, whereas, in reaction turbine, the steam must be admitted to the whole circumference. Number 5. the blades of the impulse turbine are symmetrical, whereas, in reaction turbine, the blades are not symmetrical. Number 6. The relative velocity of steam in impulse turbine remains constant, but in reaction turbine, the relative velocity of steam increases while gliding over the blades. Number 7. For the same power developed, the number of stages required in impulse turbine is less, whereas, in reaction turbine the number of stages required is more. Number 8. The steam flow in impulse turbine is radial to the turbine wheel, whereas, in reaction turbine, the steam flow is radial and axial to the turbine wheel. Number 9. If we talk about the maintenance work, then impulse turbine has less maintenance work as compared with the reaction turbine. Number 10. Impulse turbine is suitable where discharge is low, whereas, a reaction turbine is suitable for medium and high discharge. And, difference number 11. Pelton wheel is the example of impulse turbine, whereas, Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine are two examples of reaction turbine.
All right. And also we have our classification of our, aside from that reaction versus our impulse turbine, we also have the classification or other parts, I'm sorry, other components po ng ating uh, let me just share the screen again. Components ng ating turbine. Also, we have here our diffuser. So, si diffuser naman po, siya na po yung nagiging guiding vanes or nagkocontrol po ng flow ng ating fluid after it passes through our blades. No? Kasi meron tayong mga for example, yung multi-stage turbines na ginagamit natin sa mga reheat regenerative process, no, para ma-maximize natin yung energy na meron pa yung ating gases or ating fluids. So, gumagamit tayo ng diffuser para mapanatili natin yung pressure or makontrol natin yung turbulence. Also, nagre-reduce din to ng tinatawag nating cavitation. So, the diffuser po, the purpose and the design, the diffuser is a critical component located downstream of the turbine blades. Its primary purpose is to decelerate the fluid exiting the turbine while converting its kinetic energy into pressure energy. So this process increased the overall efficiency of the turbine by minimizing energy loss. So ano nga bang gamit ng ating diffuser? The diffuser serves to recover as much energy as possible from the fluid after it has passed through the turbine blades. Kasi pagdaan sa turbine, di ba super turbulent nun? High velocity, pero very low pressure. Obtaining a lesser turbulence flow, creating a higher pressure for that one. Bernoulli's principle lang po. By slowing down the fluid, the diffuser reduces the kinetic energy and increases the pressure, which can be harnessed in subsequent stages or returned to the system. So this design of the diffuser involves careful consideration of factors such as the angle of divergence, length, and surface sharpness. A well-designed diffuser minimizes flow, separation, and energy losses, while a poorly designed one can result in turbulence and reduced efficiency. So here, I will just show you a picture po. So ito, for example, yung nakikita natin nung tayo ay nag-thermo 1, thermo 2, if you can see after our fluid passes through a high pressure turbine, it will now go or it will now pass through our medium pressure turbine. And to maintain or to preserve the energy after it passes turbine, so that's why we are using diffuser. Okay? Next po, we also have here other components such as our casing, bearing, and shaft. Siguro naman malinaw na sa atin tong casing, siya yung nag-house ng lahat ng internal components. Si bearing, napag-usapan na natin ng ating pump pa lang. And si shaft, siya yung nagdudugtong ng ating rotating element going to our generator. So we also have the classification of turbines. So si turbine po ay na-classify natin into two. First one is based on the working fluid. When it is classified based on the working fluid, we have steam, gas, hydraulic, and wind turbine. The steam turbine utilizes the steam as the working fluid, typically in power plants, where steam is generated in boilers and expanded through the turbine and generate electricity. Ito yung ating mga sinosolve at pinag-aralan ng Thermo 1 and Thermo 2. Yung gamit ng steam turbine kasi ang pinapadaan natin or ang ating working fluid that in that Thermo 1 and Thermo 2 are most probably or most of the time ay steam. No? At para magamit natin yung steam, gumagamit tayo ng steam turbine. Kaya tayo may mga steam table, no? Yung superheated steam ang padadaanin natin sa turbine. Next is gas turbine naman po. Operate on hot gases produced by the combustion of fuel commonly used in jet engines and power plant. Ito naman po yung ating inaaral ngayon sa combustion engineering, no? Sa combustion, fuels and combustion. So si fuels po i-burn natin hanggang makapag-create tayo ng gas at itong gas na to ang gagamitin natin to operate or to make our turbines move. And that is gas cycle or that is gas turbine or yung gas ang gagamitin natin in our turbines. Next is hydraulic turbines naman po. Sa hydraulic turbines, ito yung mga ginagamit sa mga dams, katulad nung naging problem solving at PSET nyo po, nung tayo ay nag-fluid mechanics. Yung mga dam, dadaan sa turbine, anong power na makukuha? And lastly, yung ating pong wind turbine which capture the kinetic energy of wind to generate electricity, playing a significant role in renewable energy. So si wind turbine naman po, sa wind turbine katulad nung dinideliver ngayon, kita nyo, may nadaan tuwing alas 10 hanggang alas 4 ng umaga. May nagdi-deliver ng mga wind turbine blades mula dito sa Balagtas. Hindi ko alam kung saan dinadala, pero nakikita natin yun, no? May mga nagdi-deliver. So, si wind turbine, katulad din nung sinend ko dun sa GC, namin ng mga BOD, pinuntahan namin sa Ilocos. So, si wind turbine, ay same naman din po ng process. Ang pinagkaiba lang with this tree ay mas maliit po or mababang efficiency ni wind turbine kasi bukas, very open at mababa yung harnessing capacity ng wind turbine. Next is our base on energy conversion. So energy conversion natin again, that is impulse turbine and reaction turbine which was already watched earlier, no? So again, si turbine po ay nahahati kay reaction and kay impulse. Si reaction ay nahati natin kay Francis turbine and Kaplan and propeller turbine. Pag si impulse naman, ito yung Pelton turbine, yung kutsara, kutsara, kutsara. And for you to better appreciate po, let's watch another video about Francis naman po.
Francis turbines are the most preferred hydraulic turbines. It contributes about 60% of the global hydropower capacity, mainly because it can work efficiently under a wide range of operating conditions. Most important part of Francis turbine is its runner. It is fitted with a collection of complex-shaped blades. In runner, water is entered radially and leaves axially. During the course of flow, water glides over runner blades. Francis turbine blades are specially shaped. You can note that blades are having thin airfoil cross-section. So when water flows over it, a low pressure will be produced on one side and high pressure on the other side. This will result in a lift force. You can also note one more peculiar thing about the blade. It is having a bucket kind of shape towards the outlet. So water will hit and produce an impulse force before leaving the runner. Both impulse force and lift force will make the runner rotate. So Francis turbine is not a pure reaction turbine. A portion of force comes from impulse action also. Thus, as water flows over runner blades, both its kinetic and pressure energy will come down. Since flow is entering radially and leaves axially, they are also called mixed flow turbine. Runner is connected to generator via a shaft for electricity production. This arrangement is fitted inside a spiral casing. Flow is entered via an inlet nozzle. Flow rate of water will get reduced along length of casing, since water is drawn into the runner. But decreasing area of spiral casing will make sure that flow is entered to runner region almost at uniform velocity. Stay vanes and guide vanes are fitted at entrance of runner. The basic purpose of them is to convert one part of pressure energy to kinetic energy. Flow which is coming from the casing meets stay vanes, they are fixed. Stay vanes steers the flow towards the runner section. Thus it reduces swirl of inlet flow. Demand for power may vary over time. The guide vane mechanism is used to control water flow rate and makes sure that power production is synchronized with power demand. Apart from controlling flow rate, guide vanes also control flow angle to inlet portion of runner blade. Thus, guide vanes make sure that inlet flow angle is at optimum angle of attack for maximum power extraction from fluid. Low pressure at exit side of turbine may cause serious problems of cavitation. So a carefully designed draft tube is fitted at exit side to discharge the fluid out. Draft tube will transform velocity head to static head due to its increasing area and will reduce effect of cavitation. Hope you had a nice session on working of Francis turbines. Thank you.
All right, and aside from Francis, we also have here a video for Kaplan turbine naman po, no? So one moment, let me share as well this video for Kaplan turbine.
Hala, ano to? Ano yan?
Kaplan turbines are suitable for power contraction, when water energy is available at low head and high flow rate. Which means, they are suitable for operation when water is stored in a big reservoir at a relatively shallow altitude. In Kaplan turbine, flow is entered through a spiral casing. Decreasing area of casing makes sure that flow is entered to the central portion, almost at uniform velocity, throughout the perimeter. Water after crossing the guide vanes, passes over the runner. Finally it leaves, through a draft tube. Most important part of Kaplan turbine is its runner. Cross-section of runner blade will have a curved shape. When water flows over it, it will induce a lift force due to airfoil effect. Tangential component of lift force will make the runner rotate. This rotation is transferred to a generator, for electricity production. Kaplan turbines are axial flow machines, where absolute velocity of flow is parallel to axis of turbine. Water is precisely made to pass through runner blades, with help of a shroud. Power demand may fluctuate over time. A governing mechanism, which controls position of guide vanes, is used to control water flow rate. This can meet for varying power demand. Blades of Kaplan turbine are designed to operate under a wide range of operating conditions. A rotating blade experiences relative velocity of flow. The fundamental thing in blade design is relative velocity of fluid flow should be at optimum angle of attack at all cross sections. Even though absolute velocity is axial, relative velocity will be inclined, depending upon blade velocity. Inclination of relative velocity increases, as we move from root to tip, due to increasing blade velocity. There should be continuous twist in blade, from root to tip, so that at every cross-section the angle of attack is optimum. With varying flow condition.
Yan, pasensya na po, napakabilis lang na internet natin dito sa BSC. Pag bump
Relative velocity will change drastically.
Yan, pangit talaga ng BSC, kakainis. Kalipat na sa UB, walang bomb threat. Ay, meron din pala hanggang walang bomb threat, LPU. Ayan na ba, naghihintay tayo sa pangit na internet ng BSU. Bukas may event po. So mag-require po ako sa inyo ng attendance po ha, at saka proof of attendance. So si BOD na natin ang mag-aasikaso kung paano kayo magsasend o paano magkapakita ng proof of attendance sa akin on our time. May klase ba tayo bukas? Kung wala bukas na din yung klase natin sa Thursday, basta pag natamaan yung klase natin on that time, on our time of class.
Kaplan turbine blades are adjustable. When flow rate is high, relative velocity of flow will be more axial. So blade should pitch vertically. If flow rate is low, relative velocity of flow is more tangential. So blades are pitched in tangential direction. In short, pitching action of blade makes sure that blade is still in optimum angle of attack, even under varying flow. Apart from controlling the flow rate, guide vanes have got one more function. They help in controlling swirl of flow. If guide vanes were not present, the flow would be highly swirling in nature, due to its tangential entry. Such a flow would reduce performance of turbine drastically, due to its poor angle of attack. So guide vanes control swirl of flow, for optimum angle of attack. Biggest challenge in design of Kaplan turbine is how to overcome problem of cavitation, which causes material erosion and vibration. Cavitation is unavoidable in Kaplan turbine, since in most of the regions, pressure goes very low. But damage due to cavitation can be reduced by using suitable blade material, and use of anti-cavitation fin. Draft tube, which transforms dynamic pressure to static pressure, due to its increasing area, also helps in reducing cavitation effect. Thank you.
Alright, and that is for our Kaplan turbine. Almost the same naman po, nagkaiba lang sila nung suction at saka discharge part ng ating fluid, no? So, and those two are both what we call as reaction turbine, which the velocity and pressure is considered or used to propel or to rotate our blades. Any question po for our chapter number 7? Question? Anyone? Ayan. So, kung walang tanong, everyone, so kailan ang sunod nating klase po? Mika? Si Mika nga dito. Am I correct? Si Mika. Mika, kailan sunod nating klase po?
Sir, bukas po.